Hi, welcome to Soroto Music. I'm Sam and it's great to have you with me here on the channel. Now, if you just bought your first guitar, you might be confused between your body and your headstock, or your pickups or your fret, all that terminology just going round and round and round, which might be overwhelming to start with. So if that's you, then stick around because we're going to go through it step by step to make things a lot clearer. Okay, kicking it off then, if you've just been to the guitar shop or you've checked out your local marketplace and you've bought yourself a guitar, then congratulations, welcome to the club. Today we're just going to demystify all of the different terminology just to give you a really good grounding in what you need to know before you pick up the guitar to start playing. So you can split the guitar up into about three key components. You've got the body, which gives you most of your tone. It's where your pickups reside if you've got an electric guitar, usually. And then you've got the guitar neck with the headstock on the top, which is where the tuners live. And then you've got a very thin piece of wood usually that is attached to your guitar neck. It's called the fretboard. Now this is often a different sort of wood to the wood of the neck and the wood of the body, and it's usually most commonly seen in a browner colour like rosewood or other kind of tone wood, or you can have some that are a lighter colour like maple that you might see in a minute when we swap guitars. Okay, so coming to the B cam over here, you can see the body complete with extra smudges in the light. And this is, like I said before, the most resonant part of the guitar, the bit that's going to vibrate the most and give you most sound, which is why that's where the pickups are. So we've got the neck pickup and the bridge. Neck because it's closest to the neck, and the bridge because it's closest to the bridge. And this is where all the points of contact are for the strings. The strings flow from this tail piece just here. You can see all the different multicolours in there, and they flow all the way up, contact just here, and they contact up here and right at the top. And this is either called the 0 fret or the nut. Okay, moving further on, I said before that we got the guitar neck. Now this one in Epiphones and Les Pauls in general are rooted into the guitar body. So there's one seamless piece or joined permanently into here. So the guitar neck is set into the guitar body. And that helps with things like sustain, so it's how long the note rings out, and it also helps with your guitar tone. You'll also find some like Stratocaster type guitars, Telecasters, and some Les Paul types as well. They have what they call a bolt-on neck, which I'll show you shortly. And then coming up the neck, we've got usually a piece of wood. And then, like I said, we've got a fretboard on top, and this is bound in this nice binding all the way around to make it easier for your fingers to glide up and down. But it also just hides that very thin piece of wood veneer on the top of the fretboard that we talked about earlier. Now the nut can be made out of various materials, most commonly bone, but we can also have graphite and other kind of resonant materials too. This Epiphone Les Paul is a fantastic guitar. It's great for learning the basics on, and it's really kind to new players. It's really advisable to have your guitar set up so the strings are just at the right height. And if you don't know what that height should be, then contact your local guitar technician and they'll help you set it up for you. I try and give you an idea. There's not very much space in there at all. Just enough so that you don't have to press down too hard with your fingers and make playing difficult and make your fingers extra sore, and not too close that it buzzes as you ring a string out. This part of the guitar is also home to the jack socket, and this is where you'd plug your guitar in if it's an electric or an electroacoustic guitar. It gives you the volume and the tone controls, which allows you to either blend how much signal you're getting from the pickups or alter their tone. So if you turn the tone pot all the way down, these are known as pots, then you'll get a slightly darker signal, so very bass heavy, and takes out a lot of the high frequencies. And as you turn it round to the right and turn it up to 10, then you'll find a lot of the high frequencies come back. And you want somewhere in the middle really, but you can suit that to taste, and lots of different guitarists have had successful careers on getting just their sound. So moving up then, you've got a switch that switches between those pickups so you can have the different blend. And then we work our way up the neck. So you'll see that the neck and the fretboard in this case is made of a dark kind of tone wood, probably rosewood. And you can see these fabulous little abalone inlays, which are nice and sparkly. Guitar necks come in all different sort of shapes and sizes. And again, it's going to your local music store if you've not bought your guitar yet, and finding out which fits your hands really. I've got really big hands, so these kind of necks suit me. So we're talking about fret. So don't fret, it's not too bad. Terrible dad joke, I know. So having a closer look, we've got all of these markers on this rosewood board, but we've got these abalone markers as well. And that's a handy hint as to where you can find the notes on the guitar. There's also some dots on the top of this one that you might be able to see, and they are in the same kind of place, in the middle of the boxes of where we've got the fret markers on the fretboard. And that's just handy for when you're playing, as a reminder if you need to look at the fretboard. Okay, so I said we'd go through a few types of guitars, and this one here is a Stratocaster style, so a little bit different to the Les Paul. The neck's usually thinner on a Stratocaster, and you'll notice it's a different colour as well. This is a maple neck, and it gives a slightly different tone. You also notice that there's 3 pickups for the astute amongst you, and that's just the feature of this type of guitar. So whereas on the Les Paul we only had 2 and we could blend those sounds, we've now got a 3rd pickup. We can have any combination of those pickups using this pickup selector here, which goes 5 ways, so it gives you good versatility. There's only 1 volume control on here, so it just controls the overall volume of the guitar, but there are 2 tone pots, so we can alter the tone of those. You might notice I've got this swingy arm just here. This is what's known as a whammy bar, and the whammy bar just can alter the pitch of the bridge. So on the Les Paul it was fixed. You also notice that all of the tuners on this one are on the same side, whereas the Les Paul had 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Okay, so here's an acoustic guitar. This is my Eastman C522, I think the model number is, and I've had this quite a while. It's an electroacoustic guitar, so I can plug it in if I want to, but equally it sounds gorgeous once I use it acoustically. So fundamental things are still the same. We've still got the guitar body, but you'll notice that it's a lot bigger. So the thickness of here versus the thickness of either a Les Paul or a Stratocaster is usually half the size, and that's because this is where all of the sound goes. It amplifies itself within the body of the guitar, and then usually comes out through this sound hole. Now this, like I mentioned, is an electroacoustic guitar, and you might think, well, I can't see any pickups, but they're actually mounted inside. So there's a small microphone pickup, and there's also one that picks up vibrations. And then the jack socket for that is just on the end of the guitar, just here, which is also where you'd find the place to attach your strap. Again, we've got a neck which is completely through the guitar, and the beautiful wood. I'm not sure if you can see the grain in the wood there. And then that comes all the way up. Again, tuners on the top, and the frets, etc. as we go down. So this one's got slightly more understated fret markers. Now you might be wondering why the markers are where they are, and why there's 2 dots just here. Now in Western music we've got 12 notes in a fret, and don't worry, we'll dive into this a lot more in future videos, but there's 12 notes on the fretboard on each string in an octave. So the 2 dots is where the first note repeats itself. So the guitar is usually tuned so that the thickest string is an E note. Sounds like that. And then you can work your way all the way up. So that the note at the 12th fret is an octave higher, so 12 notes higher than the first note. Don't worry, like I said, we'll go into that in a little bit more detail in further videos, but just to give you an idea of what those fret markers mean, as that's the same for all of the other strings as well. So a quick post note then, while I was editing the video, I noticed that I'd lost my A cam during most of that acoustic session. So apologies that you were looking at a headless version of myself while we were talking about the acoustic. It comes to the end of the video. I hope you've liked it. If you do, it would do me the absolute world of good if you could click the thumbs up and like, and if you want to subscribe and find out some more content, that'd be brilliant. So that we've got lots of beginner videos planned, as well as some more in-depth acoustic and electric videos looking at amplifiers and pedal boards and all sorts of bits and pieces. So please do subscribe if you want to see more of that. I'd be grateful if you'd let me know what you want to see in the comments. If you've got any comments on today's video or just want to chat, that'd be great as well. So yeah, please do keep in touch. Until next time, thanks very much. Bye.